Hello everyone, I am Rudula and today's topic is the corruption in India. So corruption is a widespread problem in India that has been a matter of concern for several decades. It is a menace that plagues all levels of society from the poorest to the richest. Corruption in India takes various forms such as bribery, then nepotism and misuse of public resources. The root cause of corruption in India is a lack of transparency, accountability, and a weak legal system. The consequences of corruption in India has severe consequences on the country's social and economic development. It has resulted in misallocation of resources, then poor governance, and a lack of essential services to the people. Corruption has also undermined democracy and the rule of law, with political parties and leaders using corruption as a means to maintain power and the control. The measures are the Indian government has taken several measures to address corruption, such as setting up anti-corruption agencies, then laws and regulations, and promoting transparency and accountability in public institutions. However, corruption remains a significant challenge in India, requiring continued efforts and political will to combat. Then citizens also have a crucial role to play in fighting corruption by refusing to participate in corrupt parties, then reporting corruption and demanding accountability from their leaders. Addressing corruption in India requires a collective effort from stakeholders, including the government, civil society, and citizens, to build a more transparent, accountable, and fair society. Now we see the causes of corruption. Lack of transparency in public institutions provide an environment to corruption. When there is no transparency in government functioning, it is easier to officials to engage in corrupt practices without fear to detection or punishment. Then the weak legal system in India is also a significant contribution to corruption. Corrupt officials can evade justice, and the lack of severe punishments act as a deterrent to corrupt practices. Then political influence is another significant cause of corruption in India. Politicians use their power and influence to benefit themselves and their associates, often at the expense of the public interest. Then poverty and a lack of economic opportunities create an environment where corruption thrives. People in a position of power often exploit the vulnerable to engage in corrupt practices. Then, despite various anti corruption measures, a lack of political will to tackle corruption remains a significant challenge. Corruption often goes unchecked because of a lack of will to enforce laws and regulations. Then, addressing the root cause of corruption in India requires a comprehensive approach that involves structural reforms, then straightening of institutions, and a change in society in social attitudes towards corruption. It requires a concerted efforts from all stakeholders, then including the government, civil society, and citizens, to build a more transparent, accountable, and the fair society. Reducing corruption in India is a complex and challenging task that require multi-faceted approach. Here are some steps that can be taken to decrease corruption in India. Strengthening institutions such as the judiciary, then law enforcement agencies, and anti-corruption bodies can help reduce corruption. These institutions should be provided with adequate resources, training, and autonomy to perform their functions effectively. Greater transparency in government functioning can help prevent corruption. Measures such as public disclosure of government contracts, budgets, and decision making processes can help reduce opportunities for corruption. Encouraging citizen participation and creating channels for feedback is another method that can help in the reduction of corruption. This can be done by promoting citizen engagement in decision making processes, then creating whistleblower protection laws, and establishing grievance redressal mechanisms. Then strict enforcement of laws and regulations is critical for reducing corruption. This requires political will to prosecute corrupt officials and to ensure that they are held accountable for their actions. Promoting ethical leadership can help reduce corruption by ensuring that leaders at all levels of government are selected based on their integrity and track record of ethical behavior. Then the use of technology can help reduce corruption. For example, e-governance systems, online portals for filing complaints, and digital payment systems can reduce opportunities for corruption. Educating the public about the negative effects of corruption and promoting ethical behavior is crucial to reduce corruption. This can be done through awareness campaigns, education in school and colleges, and public service announcements.